Welcome to our discussion on final income taxation. So on previous discussions, we have identified that there are three types of income taxation in the Philippines. One is the regular income taxation, second is final income taxation, and third is the capital gains taxation. So we will now deal with the final income taxation. Before we proceed, let us qualify what does final tax or final income taxation means by looking at its features. Okay? By looking at its feature. By definition, the final tax is one of the exemptions to the scope of the regular income taxation. So we have to understand first the passive income and the active income, because this is crucial in understanding the final tax in the Philippines. So when we say active income, these are compensation income, meaning an individual is actively pursuing, performing a service, or actively doing or producing a good, thereby producing output, selling it, and then having it as your income. That is active income. While a passive income it is a form of a business that you do not exert an effort to. You just invest an amount and then it is earning for you. Okay? So that's why it is called a passive income. So between the two, active, which is manifested by the compensation income, and passive income, which is uh, a passive income, which is manifested by an investment, between active and passive income is less riskier on the part or the perspective of the Bureau of the Internal Revenue, while passive income are construed to be risky income at the point of view of the collecting authorities, just like the BIR. So therefore, they have to institute controls to enable an efficient and full collection of taxes. This is the reason why we have to collect tax on a per transaction basis on the riskier passive income. This is the reason why there is final income taxation. So there are features of the final income tax, just like it is final. When we say it is final, yung nakolekta na tax sa'yo would be the tax on that particular transaction. Hindi ito nagbabago at the end of the year. Hindi na ito ma-adjust pa because it is collected at source. That is feature number 2. So kung sino yung nagbigay ng income sa'yo, i-withheld na niya at source yung tax and then siya na ang magre-remit sa BIR. And number 3, it is territorial on its imposition. Our reference says that the final withholding system is inherently territorial. It applies only to certain passive income earned from sources within the Philippines. Okay? And number 4, it is imposed on certain passive income and persons not engaged in business in the Philippines. So let us take a look at the items of passive income that is subject to final tax. Most of the discussions or the lengthy and detailed discussions are provided in our reference book. So we just have to identify yung items 1 to 8. Okay? Number 1 is the interest income. What is this interest income? Interest income on bank deposits po ang tinutukoy dito and bank certificates. So ang sinasabi dito ay kung meron kang bank account at ito ay merong amount, yan ay nag-earn ng interest. So kung nag-earn yan ng interest, therefore dapat meron yang kung nag-earn yan ng interest, therefore dapat merong tax dyan through the final tax. Kaya kung mapapansin mo, kung meron kang bank account, at the end of the month ay merong at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, merong interest income yan, meron agad na katapat na withholding tax. That is the final tax related to that deposit. Okay? So how do they compute the particular interest How do we compute the final tax on that particular interest income? The tabulation on page 137 will tell us the rates. Okay, so on interest income from banks and from non-bank financial institutions, you have to qualify first whether you are an individual or a corporation. So kung interest income doon sa mga deposit mo or interest income doon sa deposit mo sa bangko na yon, tingnan mo po kung yan ay short term or long term. When we say short term, this is less than 5 years. Okay? Short-term deposits are those made for a period of less than 5 years. Kapag less than 5 years, 20% po ang final tax doon sa income na yon for individuals and for corporations. While kapag long-term deposits naman, ibig sabihin more than 5 years, 5 years or more yung duration or period ng particular deposit na yon, may iba na po ang kwento. For individuals, it is exempt. For pag corporations, ang sabi po dyan ay 20%. Please make a, hindi naman correction, but a note na yung 20% na tinutukoy po sa corporations dito ay yung sub-regular tax on income, on interest income. This is regular tax on interest income. How about kapag galing sa, yung interest income ay galing sa non-bank institution? Ano ba ang mga sample ng non-bank institution? Ng mga financial institution po na hindi bangko. Lending or financial institutions, may interest income doon. Ang nakalagay po dyan ay this is subject to the regular income taxation. Okay? So let us qualify now. Bakit yung long-term deposit ng individuals ay exempt from taxation? Long-term deposit ng individuals from banks, because the logic here is kung meron siyang long-term deposit na gano'n ang amount, more or less yan ay nakaplano or projected to be used for infrastructure project and for the development of a particular livelihood ng particular individual na yon. At yun ay ini-encourage on the national level. At the national agenda, part po yun. Kaya ini-exempt na yan sa taxation. Okay? Sa final taxation. Take a look at the samples on page 138. Meron po dyan mga samples like deposit on 6-month, 2-year, and 5-year time deposit. At kung mapapansin mo dyan, ang kinumpitan lang ng final tax ay yung less than 5 years. Yung 6-month time deposit at 2-year time deposit. Dahil yung 5-year time deposit, yan po ay exempt kapag individual. Okay? Please take note again that the corporate taxpayer are not exempt to long-term deposit, but they are subject to regular tax on interest income on long-term deposit. Okay? Let's take a look at the winnings. Okay? Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng winnings at ng prizes? That's number 3 and number 7. When we say winnings, these are, for example, lotto winnings, PCSO winnings, ibig sabihin game of chance po ito. Okay? These are winnings. Ibig sabihin, walang competition. While prizes are income based on as a fruit of a competition. Ibig sabihin, may competition kaya nagkaroon ng prize. While winnings is just a game of chance. Okay? But they are both subject to final taxation. Let us look at the rules on winnings. How do we account for the rules on the winnings? As provided in our references, there are types. Basically, ang pagtatandaan mo, this is 20%, but the tabulation will tell you that there are types of winnings. Kapag PCSO winnings not exceeding 10,000, for individuals, this is exempt. For corporation, this is exempt kasi masyado naman maliit. Pero kung PCSO winnings exceeding 10,000, it is 20% final tax for both individual and corporations. And other winnings in general, 20% final tax for individuals, and for corporations, this is subject to regular tax. Okay? Please take note na ang mga pinag-uusapan po natin on this passive income subject to final tax, hindi po kasama dito ang mga ang rules sa NRA, NETB, and NRFCs kasi iba ang kanilang rules. Makikita nyo naman sa footnote ng bawat isang type of passive income kung ano ang applicable sa particular NRA, NETB, and NRFCs. Let's go to the informer's reward. Ano ibig sabihin ng informer's reward? This is a cash reward that may be given to any person instrumental in the discovery of violations of the National Internal Revenue Code or discovery and seizure of smuggled goods. So kaya po siya informer is because mayroong isang tao na nag-inform sa BIR na mayroong violation or tax evasion na nangyayari. So therefore, we encourage that. Okay, so as to collect more taxes and to efficiently conduct the tax administration. So nire-reward po natin yon. So kung nire-reward natin siya, subject ba yun sa final tax? Yes. So mautak po ang BIR on this part and our legislator because kahit na ni-reward ka pa, hindi yan exempt, but it is still subject to the final taxation. How much? Ang sabi po dito, the rule is 10% of the revenue, surcharges of or fees recovered or fine or penalty imposed and collected or 1 million whichever is the lower of the following of the above mentioned. So tingnan mo, anong mas mababa? 1 million o yung 10% noon, yun ang kuhanin. Okay? But at a minimum, alam mo na meron kang 1 million. That's the rule. So you take a look at the illustrations because these are items that can be compared to. Okay. How about the fringe benefits? How about the fringe benefits tax? Ano ba muna ang fringe benefits? These fringe benefits are remunerations under an employer-employee relationship that do not form part of the compensation income. The fringe benefits of managerial and supervisory employees are subject to a final fringe benefits tax, which will be discussed later on chapter 11. But ang sinasabi natin dito ay meron kasing mga remuneration na hindi kasama doon sa kanyang compensation income, but we have to subject it to a particular type of tax. Okay. Number 6 is royalty. Royalty on, for example, you are producing books or literary works or any musical compositions. How much is the final tax? If you are an individual, for example, ikaw ang nag-compose niyan, you are chargeable to a 10% final tax. Kapag corporation naman, nakapangalan, it is subject to 20% final tax. Okay? Kapag other sources, you are charged 20% final tax. Ibig sabihin kapag po sinabing other sources, hindi siya book, hindi literary work, at hindi musical composition, so iba siya, yun po ang rule. 20% final tax for both individual and corporations. So tingnan niyo po yung note dyan. Under the regulations, 10% preferential royalty final tax on books and literary works pertain to printed literatures. Royalties on books sold on e-copies or CDs such as e-books are subject to 20% final tax. So mas mataas. So printed literature ang tinutukoy po dun sa 10% sa individual. Bakit? Simply because yung costing ng mga nasa electronic copy ay mas mababa kasi wala kang printed material. Kaya mas mataas ang iyong tax. Okay? So that's the composition of the royalty. So you take a look at the samples. Okay, the prices nakalagay din po dyan, it is subject to the 20% final tax for price exceeding 10,000, regular tax for corporations for prices. Okay? Kapag individual ka, tapos yung price is not exceeding 10,000, it is subject to regular tax. Pero kapag exceeding 10,000, sorry, I have to correct that. Kapag price is exceeding 10,000, 20% final tax. Pero kapag hindi siya nag-exceed ng 10,000, that is subject to regular tax. Kapag sinabi pong subject to regular tax, isasama mo siya dun sa annual income tax return na ipa-file mo yearly. Okay? So there are other items that we have to discuss, such as the interest payments to the foreign currency deposit units and the offshore banking units. Number two is the tax-free covenant bonds. And number three is the petroleum service contractors. These are all passive income subject to final taxation. Ano ba itong mga foreign currency depository units and offshore banking units? Ito ay mga foreign entities na nag-ooperate sa Pilipinas. So kung meron po tayong mga income related to the transactions to them, subject yun sa final tax. Okay? Ito naman po mga bonds, these are negotiable instruments, tax-free siya yung mga covenant bonds, but tax-free on the sense na tax-free yung covenant bonds, but the income related to this is subject to final tax. Okay, to the issuance. Petroleum service contractors, kung meron tayong mga passive income related to this, it is still subject to final tax as provided on a detailed discussion on our references. Okay, so marami po sa mga ito ay nandoon sa ating the references on the computations will or the illustrations on a per item basis will tell us kung paano we treat this one. So you will look at the basics of this as part of our analysis of the income taxation and introduction to income taxation. So yung general idea lang muna ang kinukuha natin on this one. Okay? Kasi more of this will be discussed on the income taxation subject pa naman. Okay, so we're just introducing the items on this one. Thank you. So we have to answer the items on chapter 5, final income taxation, as an assignment, or the items on true or false 1, true or false 2, multiple choices theory 1, multiple choices theory 2, multiple choice problems 1. So basically, lahat po ng nandoon sa book would be the assignment, multiple choice problem 1, 2, and 3. Lahat po ng nasa final income taxation. And all of this will be submitted on during the in-person classes na. Okay? Hindi pa naman siya isasubmit ngayon, but on the in-person classes na. So if there are concerns or inquiries, you just have to do it on the Google Classroom through a chat, or we may schedule a meeting, an online meet to identify areas or to supplement yung mga ibang items, especially yung mga computational part. Although I believe yung mga computational part ay expressly provided through the illustrations. Thank you.